Paul, not spoke to you since Dubai. How's life treating you? How have you been?
Been good, Paul. I've been just ticking over. Had a quiet Christmas. Couldn't really do too much with the COVID situation. Someone in our family, each side of the family, had COVID, so we were all at home. So quite quiet, to be fair.
It's been everywhere, hasn't it? And the same with like this fight. Did you know all the time that this fight would be probably re-announced, rearranged?
Yeah, I pretty much knew it was going to be rearranged. I was hoping for late Feb, start of March, because I know what he's like with weight.
Yeah.
So I was hoping for early March, but we're in April and gives him time to make weight this time.
Was it difficult for you having not fought to come back down again, knowing that you're going to have to get back up?
Yeah, it was hard, obviously, because I know how much I put into that camp. All the training I'd done was perfect. I made the weight probably the best I've ever made it. Dubai obviously helped with the heat, but it was the best I've ever felt. Going into a fight, as the weeks were going by, I was more confident. As I got to Dubai, all the rumours floating around about him struggling with weight, it just gave me a little bit more of a lift, and then the morning of the weigh-in, it just all came crashing down, which was a nightmare for me.
That was going to be a good question to ask, to be honest with you. How was it, fight week in Dubai, or just before fight week, knowing that there was obviously rumours going around, it was a bit of an unkept secret that he was struggling with the weight, and how did it affect you mentally?
Mate, I loved fight week out there. I'd train like once a day and the weight was flying off me. I was losing like 5-6 pounds, 40-minute training sessions. I was bang on weight all week. And then I was just sitting around the pool, just chilling, drinking bottles of water all day, and the gym was right in front of us. I'd see him in there 2-3 times a day, just on the runner, sweatbands on, sweatsuits on, his glasses, his hat. Sometimes he was coming out in the sun to try and get a sweat on to start with. He must have been struggling that bad. So as I say, as the weeks were going by, I just felt a little bit more confident, especially as the days were getting closer to the weigh-in.
Are you feeling the same confidence now going into this one?
Yeah, I am. To be fair, I think we had a good game plan going in there. Everyone knows how dangerous he is. You've got to be switched on from the get-go with him. He comes out flying. But I do believe that here in Liverpool, I think it's a big advantage for me.
Again, next question about Liverpool. You know, would you? I know it's difficult to say because you didn't fight, but would you prefer it to be in Liverpool, which is technically home for you, or Dubai?
Well, to be fair, when it got made in Dubai, I was made up. I was buzzing. It was in Dubai. It had been my first fight out of England as a professional. Obviously, it didn't work out, but now we're back here. My dad rang me up and he said Liverpool, and I was buzzing. Obviously because of all the fans, and I took a fair few over to Dubai, but here it'll be booming. In April it'll be absolutely bouncing, and I think what he's done in Dubai has helped me massively with me selling tickets, especially over here. Like
you literally did everything about a fight away from your home in a different country, but fight. You made the weight, you did the press, you did the media, you did the travelling, the getting used to the time difference, everything else. You just didn't get that sort of icing on the cake with the fight. It must have been frustrating for you.
It was very frustrating. The frustrating thing was we obviously, they told us they brought Becco in, but I didn't really see the point in me fighting Becco and putting my #1 spot on the line. It was a win-win for him. What was I fighting for? An interim title. They didn't end up stripping him anyway, eventually. So some days I sit there and I think I should have just boxed Becco, but then other days I'm thinking, what have I got cut? It'd have been the end of my career. Do you know what I mean? I'm 33 now. It'd have been a long, hard road back.
Was it a difficult decision to make?
Hard, mate, hard. I was sat there 4 o'clock in the afternoon, fight day, and we didn't even have an answer off the WBO what was going on. Was it for a world title? Was it for an interim? Will he be stripped? Won't he be stripped? And we're sitting there and we're thinking, what is going on? My head was up my arse, and that's when Joe, my dad, and Macca pulled it. They were like, you're not in the right frame of mind. And they were like, what do you want to do? I said, I'd fight anyone. But from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I did not have a clue what I was doing that day. It's not a good place to be in when you're going into a tough fight.
Yeah, you need to be focused and not worrying about the thing. Obviously, that was going to be again another question. You know, do you think about it now? Did I make the right decision? Should I have fought? Perhaps he would have been stripped if I had fought and won.
Yeah, well, I sit there some days and I'm thinking I should have boxed, and then other days I am thinking anything can go wrong. You've seen the amount of people that have looked ahead of the fight that they've got in front of them. If I was looking ahead of Egbeko and I got a cut in the 5th round, I got a bad hand, anything can go wrong. We've seen it happen so many times where kids have looked at a world title after the one they've got in front of them and they've been beat. It happens all the time. And
are you ready for the long camp? Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I am. I'm buzzing about getting back in the gym and training. I have been taking over. I've been doing little bits. Been doing a bit of Muay Thai, a bit of kicking, and just trying different stuff out, mate. It's just something different just to keep me active. Yeah. I can't sit in the house all day and doing nothing, do you know what I mean? I'm always out doing something. Tuesday night to pool, Thursday night to snooker. Different gyms on Saturdays doing a bit of Muay Thai, a bit of kickboxing, a bit of grappling here and there. It's just something different for me, do you know what I mean?
Active rest. We've heard some stories about you snooking in your pool, but I think I'll leave them for off the camera. But you used to be known in the gym when I was there with you as Sport Billy. You and Liam are the two fellas that I know were absolutely brilliant at anything they do. Snooker, pool, football, darts, tennis, anything what you pick up. But it's good that you're staying busy and staying active, and you probably need that through the camp because they can be monotonous, can't they?
You do, yeah. You definitely need something to take your mind off constant boxing. There's nothing worse, you know what I mean? Like, I'm an amateur coach as well, and I'll go in the amateur gym and it's just constant boxing, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to teach them not so much what I learn, obviously, because it's a completely different game, as you know.
Learned.
Yeah,
what you used to do.
So I try and go back to my GB days when I was on GB. Your feet, good hands, good feet, plenty of angles, phases, and I'm trying to teach that into the kids, drill that into the kids, and then your off time is me pool, me snooker, me golf. I like me golf on the weekends. Like you say, I'm constantly doing something, and it's always something to do with sports.
Being who you are now, former world champion, hopefully world champion again, you're probably constantly reminded of your job when you have a conversation with anyone.
With anyone, yeah.
Yeah.
Nip in the pub when you're fighting. Just let us come to the pub for a coke or something, do you know what I mean? I nip into different pool halls, different snooker halls, and it's the same questions all the time. But it's just, I suppose it's people's way of starting conversation as well sometimes, isn't it? And then it goes on to something else and end up playing them at pool or something then.
How do you see April 23rd, the fight night, the fight itself?
Mate. Yeah, very tough fight. It was going to be in Dubai. I knew that. I'm not deluded. I know how much of a good champion he is. But I can see it being, it'll be, well, I hope it's a good night. Do you know what I mean? I fancy him to come over prepared better than last time. I believe he's staying in the Philippines this time. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for him, to be fair. He normally goes over to LA and trains out there. So whatever Casimero comes over, I'll be prepared for. I was prepared for him last time, I'll be prepared this time. I was in the best shape I've ever been in last time, so it's time to get back to that.
You looked in good shape on the scales, and fight week, the stuff from following your social medias on your Twitter account and everything else, you know, the pictures you're putting up. I've seen you around fight week a couple of times, with a couple of conversations in the fighting meeting with our team. You looked in a good place, you were a good place mentally, and physically you looked really good, and the gym's buzzing at the moment with fighters similar to your stature and your weight as well in the gym. It
is, the gym's thriving at the moment. We've obviously got Charlie, he's in, so I get some good rounds with Charlie. He's sharp as you like, so he's super. I think he's going to compete at Superfly for titles. I'm at Bantam, so that's top sparring for me. Yeah. So the gym's absolutely booming at the moment. So. Well, listen, I wish you all the best with your camp, and I wish you all the best with the fight, and I'll see you in the build-up to it, no doubt. Cheers, Paul. I appreciate it.